Welcome to the Good Place Marionville podcast, dedicating to highlighting the good right here in Marionville, Missouri. I am so excited for today's episode where we are going to focus on all things Marionville Applefest. I have the pleasure of welcoming Anna Brown as my guest today. She is the committee secretary, and also I call her the social media extraordinaire. Anna, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to have you here because I love to talk about Applefest, and you have been such a big part of this year in the planning and execution of a lot of things. So we're just going to dive right in and talk to the community about what Applefest really means, what we've got planned, what they can get excited about, and how they can get involved. But first, I want everybody to get a chance to know you personally. As our guest, that's one of the things that we always do is try to make sure that we know more about you. So, first of all, tell us about your connection to Marionville.
Yeah, so I am a 2011 graduate from Marionville and grew up here with my family the whole time. I don't currently live in Marionville, but still call it home. It will always be home.
That's awesome. Okay. So tell us about your family and relatives so we can, I always like to try to connect the dots and getting to people to be like, oh, I know who that is and that's who you're related to or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. The probably the most well-known person potentially would be my sister Ashley. Would have been Ashley Eisenman. She was a hairstylist here in town at a couple different places, but most commonly known, I guess, at Headliners next to the old grocery store. So
Okay.
that would be my sister. I've got two other siblings in town, Dylan and Allison. Dylan has worked in the community a little bit doing mechanic work and stuff like that. So
Awesome. Well, wonderful. Okay. And you are a mom.
I am. Yes, I have two kids.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, super awesome. One boy, one girl.
Awesome. All right. So, what do you do for work?
I work at Federal Protection in Springfield. We're an alarm company, banking equipment, ATMs, things like that. And I've been there for just a little over 8 years now.
Wow. And what do you do?
I'm sales administrator, so I currently just kind of help support our sales team, allow them to be in the field a lot more, and take care of more of the office admin support side.
Okay, that doesn't surprise me at all because you're very good at managing things. And I love that skill that you're using. So do you have any hobbies?
I don't have a lot of time for hobbies, as a mom. So I always say my hobby is just being a mom and supporting my kids the best I can and everything that they're excited to be involved in as well.
Awesome. Okay, so how long have you been involved in Applefest?
It's a little over a year, but this is actually my second festival to be
Right.
involved in.
Awesome. So why did you get involved?
Really, I was still living in Marionville at the time, and I was looking for a way to get plugged into the community, and give back. I can remember going to Applefest as a kid and just loving being able to run around and hang out with our friends and do all the fun things. So I just wanted to take time to kind of put back into the festival that gave me a lot of memories with us.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, so Applefest isn't the only thing that you volunteer for. I know that as a fact. What else are you involved in?
The other main thing I'm involved in is with my church. I lead our children's ministry, and then kind of help support in different roles, fundraising, things like that for them as well.
Awesome. And you can shout out to your church.
Yeah, shout out. I go to Freedom Christian Center right between Aurora and Mount Vernon.
Awesome. That's so good. Okay. So now that we've gotten everybody to kind of know a little bit about you, not too much, but just a little bit, who you are and all of that, let's talk about Applefest. And one of the things that I want to start with is, of course, highlighting this is our 36th Marionville Applefest. And I can't even imagine all of the different people over the years that have been a part of the committee, sponsored different things to make the Applefest happen. And so I just want to take a moment to say thank you to everyone who has ever participated in making Applefest happen. And so that could be committees, sponsors, sure, all of you community coming out and participating, being in the different events, participating in contests, whatever it might be. Maybe it's just eating and buying the food, right? But it takes all of us in order to make it happen. So I love the fact that someone dreamt up this idea 36 plus years ago, because it didn't just happen, right? I'm sure it took some time to make it happen. So thank you to all of you that gave us this opportunity to now be celebrating 36 years. So back in the day, there were several apple orchards. thriving and feeding all of us all the different kinds of apple treats that we could ever imagine. And today we celebrate Murphy's Orchard as they remain in the community and help us to continue that tradition. And, in fact, we as a committee decided to really celebrate apples this year. So really trying to bring back some of that idea that apples it is Applefest, right? And we are also the home of the white squirrel. So it's this balancing act that gets played, but we really want to celebrate all that Marionville is, and it really boils down to the people. But Anna, let's talk about some of the things that maybe what you're most excited about for this year. Let's start there.
Yeah, I'm really excited about our kids area this year. We've got a refreshed committee. The Fun Squad is what we like to call it.
Yes.
And we've been working really, really hard. Kimber Hull is kind of the director of that and has really gone above and beyond. We've got a lot of new games and new things. We've got inflatables coming in this year. Super exciting. We've got actually new to this year a second stage that we've set up specifically for the kids that'll be right outside here in front of Central Place.
Yes. Okay. So all things kids, that's what you're the most excited about. But, so ahead of time, there are a lot of things that have already taken place to get us to where we're going to be in a little over a week. And a couple of those things I want to highlight is one of them is what we're wearing, which is our t-shirts. So during the year, we have an art contest and the students get the opportunity to submit art submissions and then a winner gets to be on the t-shirts for the year. So Anna, why don't you hold up the t-shirt so people can see incomplete. It's so adorable. And Miss Daisy was our artist winner for this year. And it is both the pie and the white squirrel. So she did a great job of incorporating that. And thank you so much I'm not wearing my green one because we use a green screen and I was disappearing. So there's green, blue, and gray that you can choose from. We also, during the year, have a scholarship contest, and it is an essay that is written. And our theme this year was As American as Apple Pie. Did I say that right? Yes, that's that was it. So, and congratulations to Brooklyn Holder for winning that. And it is a huge scholarship. It's $2,000. We give the students $500 a year for any of their 4 years, as long as they meet some criteria to keep up their grades and things like that. So it is an honor and a privilege to be able to help the students with their education through Applefest as well. Another thing that happens before we ever get to the actual days of the event is our ad book. So Anna, you want to hold that up? It is absolutely beautiful. So thank you to all the sponsors that help make that possible. We can't wait to get those in your hands. They are at a lot of local businesses right now. Some of them are hot off the press. The rest of them are coming out on Friday of this week and will be at the pageant this weekend, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But the ad book is a great way for all year long for people to reference, oh, who was it that was promoting that they do this kind of work, and their phone number is going to be in there and that kind of thing. Plus, it has the schedule for the weekend, the parade map, all the different, musicians are listed and the different contests that you can be involved in. So that is all there as well. So, all right, let's get down and dirty on some of the details of Applefest. So, Anna, the community church service is on Thursday night. We brought that back a couple years ago, and I look forward to this every year. It's at 6 o'clock on Thursday night. The vendors have started coming in by then and starting to get some setup done. And then we take a break, have a worship service where the whole community is invited to come. And then the festival begins on Friday. What time do we open up on Friday, Anna? Do you remember?
10 or 11.
Yeah, let's look on the schedule here. Let's make sure everybody gets here at the right time. It's the stage on Friday opens at noon. But at 10 o'clock on Friday is when Applefest opens, at least according to the book. So you all can come by then. So the vendors will be set up at that time. You can start to, I think a lot of people kind of check the layout, early on and then kind of know where they want to go back and what they want to do, get familiar with the schedules. But you can do all that on our newly revamped website, which is marionvilleapplefest.com. All right. So Anna, let's talk about one other thing that happens before the festival ever begins, and that's this weekend, starting on Saturday. I said Friday the 13th, but it's actually Saturday, right?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about the pageant.
The pageant. Barbara Conn does a great job organizing the pageant. We have lots of ladies. I think we have 62 entries this year, which is awesome. That's
That's
up from
amazing.
last year. And they all come into the First Baptist Church at 4 o'clock on Saturday. And that's where the pageant is held. And it's going to be really great.
Awesome. So community can come and watch, right?
Yes, absolutely. We would love to have everyone out to see them.
And it's kind of special. This year, we actually have a very special MC for the event. She was a former Miss Missouri.
Yes.
So, somebody who has been in the pageant world, getting to be there for all those girls to give them a very special experience. So, if you know anybody that's going to be in the pageant or you just want to see what it's all about, come to First Baptist on Saturday at 4 o'clock. That's when it will start. So, you might want to be there a little bit early, get your seat and take part in what I believe might be the largest pageant we have ever had. So, very excited about that. Then the winners get to do what?
They get to be in our parade on Saturday morning, which is really exciting. We've got some cool cars that they can sit in and ride through the parade.
Awesome. All right. While we're talking about the parade, why don't you give us a little bit of the skinny since you are very involved in that? So, let us know about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited for the parade this year. I think we're going to have a bigger turnout than we have had in years past. We've opened up online registration so we can kind of have an idea of who's going to be there. So if you're planning on being involved in the parade, definitely check that out online or on our website and get registered. Let us know that you're coming. Otherwise, if you're planning on being there, we'll line up at the Marionville Elementary at 9 o'clock, and then the parade will kick off at 10 o'clock. And we'll go through town and see everyone lining the streets, throw out some candy.
Awesome. That is such a highlight for everybody to see all the decorated floats and the bands and all that there is. I know that I have friends who are riding in some of their beautiful cars that they've restored and they have in contests. So how people can still register.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
one of the things I want to highlight with that is if you want that to go, like if you want to participate and you don't want to mess around with like having to give information on Saturday morning, just go online to our website. You will find the parade information, fill out your contact information, and then you will get plugged in. And then when you get there, you'll just be told where to be stationed and when you can start and make things go smoother. So, shout out to you, Anna. You have really automated some things that have really been helpful. And that's one of them, just being able to be like, okay, I don't have to just wonder on Saturday morning. I can already have that taken care of. And we'll know that you're coming and won't be so surprised.
Yes.
Okay, another fun thing that there's still time for registration for is on Friday night of the Applefest. There is a very special contest at 6 o'clock, and it's called the Golden Delicious Pageant. And Barbara Conn is in charge of that as well. I will put her contact information in there. Do we have a sign up for that on our website as well?
We do.
We do not. Okay. So they just need to contact Barbara, and I'll put that contact information in there. For 65 and older, you can be in the pageant and have a chance to win a tiara, a trophy, a bouquet, and get to ride in the parade on Saturday as well. And shout out to Doris Rapp, who was our winner last year and got to ride in the parade. What a fun thing. And I hope that more people will choose to participate after hearing about it. If your mom or aunt or grandma would be a good contestant, apply a little pressure. Now's a good time to do that. All right, so let's talk about, Anna, in a little bit more detail. The new and improved kids area, which we are calling Fun Squad.
Yes.
You mentioned it a little bit, but let's just talk about some of the things that make it really special. Instead of a carnival this year, with rides like the good old fashioned carnival rides, we got some feedback from parents that they thought that inflatables, lots of inflatables, would be the way to go. So we literally rented out a whole company,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So tell us about that.
Yeah, so we're working with K&S Inflatables. They're bringing in a slew of inflatables for the kids. We've got a couple of slides, a couple of bounce houses, a mechanical bull, a toxic meltdown, all kinds of bumper balls, all kinds of things they're bringing in. We're taking over that whole grassy area by the fire station,
Awesome.
with lots of things for the kids to do, and it's all free.
Let's talk about that for a minute because I think that's one of the things that really sets Marionville apart is the Applefest goal is to be able to provide a place for kids to have free fun where they're not constantly, when we've all been there, you go to a something and then you're like, can I have money for this? Can I have money for that? And this is an opportunity for kids to not have to be told no.
Exactly.
Really, that's the bottom line. We've talked about that. That's kind of been a theme of ours. In fact, we decided to not have water because we didn't want parents to be like, no, I don't want you to get wet. Let's just do things where it's an easy yes and the kids can just have fun. And so, on top of the inflatables, excuse me, this stage that you guys are going to have right there in the parking lot of Central Place is going to have reptiles and snake shows. And what else is going to be there?
Yes, all kinds of things going on. So we've got Joe Hull coming in, and he's going to do a reptile exhibition with the kids, let them see all kinds of snakes that he has of all varieties. We've got another company coming in with an alligator and a tortoise
Wow.
education. So it's going to be really cool for the kids to see that. We've got all kinds of contests. We're bringing the pie eating contest that normally takes place on the main stage. We're bringing that over to the kids stage. And we'll have two groups, two contests available for the kids, depending on age, for them to compete and win a prize there.
Okay, so kids, be hungry. Get ready to eat those pies. And there's some pretty awesome trophies.
Yes,
I can't wait for y'all to see them. It's worth it. Whatever bellyache you might get, it's going to be worth it.
absolutely. We do have a generation gap game show that we're also doing this year. So this is
So,
one for parents, guardians, and their kids to team up and get involved in together. We're telling people bring your personality. It's going to be a lot of fun for that one. That's going to be taking place on Saturday at noon. So
awesome.
be ready for
Okay,
that.
and everything that we're referencing is listed in the booklet. Page 4 has the stage. It says Fun Squad Central Stage 2. That's got all the schedule for the kids and then also lists out all the inflatables. Oh my word, I cannot wait to see all of this stuff that is going to be happening there. So we really are looking forward to the kids just going above and beyond and being excited about all of it. So we could sit here and just sit on that all day and talk about it. But let's move on to the main stage. In also that schedule is listed in the booklet as well, like always. But there's entertainment. There's the Golden Delicious pageant we talked about. There are contests on the main stage as well. We have a baking contest, Marionville Idol, Marionville's Got Talent. And one thing I really like about this is that you can register ahead of time. So again, go to marionvilleapplefest.com, look at the contest tab and sign up. Let us know if you're bringing a pie for the contest, if you're bringing an apple dessert for the baking contest. Amazing prizes and the ability then we get to auction off your baked goods to help support the Apple Fest as a whole. So put on your best game and bring it with you. And also then for the talent and the carry Americans are the Marionville Idol is like a karaoke,
Yes.
right? So this is an opportunity for you to just, have some fun singing along with some music. You get to tell them what song you want to sing. And then Marionville's Got Talent, whatever your talent might be, bring it to the stage. But you can register ahead of time and let us know so we can start to get a lineup together and be prepared and have you there. And, I know there's last minute decisions that people sometimes make, but you probably have something you've been working on, whether it is a magic trick or a gymnastics routine. I think that's allowed. And, it can be music, it can be playing the violin, it can be a flute solo, it can be, whatever it might be. Bring that. Let's celebrate it together. So I'm really excited about that. Again, sign up ahead of time. We'd love to see, instead of, people begging for you to get up there and do it. Be prepared and bring it with you if you want, and we'll have lots of opportunities to celebrate those talents. All right, we talked about the parade and how people can also sign up for that online. Something I'm really excited about this year is we have a Boy Scout troop that's coming to be color guard, present the flag, get it ready to go up on our pole as the national anthem is played. But this year, we are going to have a float full of Marionville veterans that are being honored. We're so grateful for the service that they've given us to our country, and they live right here in our town. And so, behind the Boy Scouts is going to be this parade float of veterans that we really get to celebrate and see who has served our country and let them also be honored during the raising of the flag. So I'm just excited about that because I think that sometimes we don't pause enough and thank the veterans. So this is just one way of doing that. And a lot of the residents at the manor are involved in that, and we are just celebrating that contribution that they're making to the events this weekend. Okay, we got to keep moving, Anna. There's a lot to cover. Vendors. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Largest number of vendors, I think, ever. So what do you have to say about that?
I'm excited. We had to literally find places to put vendors this year,
Yeah.
which is just a sign that Applefest is growing and the hard work that the committee is putting in is paying off. So I'm really excited. I think we've got a lot of new vendors this year as
Yeah.
well.
So just a shout out to the community. This is an opportunity for you to go above and beyond. Make sure you visit all the different vendors and especially the ones that we may have had to tuck in places, make them feel welcome. Make sure you're checking out their wares and you can do some Christmas shopping. It is by the time Applefest gets here, we just have October, November, December, 3 months till Christmas. So why not get a head start and support these local vendors that are coming, whether it's their wares, whether it's their community involvement that they're promoting, or their food. I mean, let's come hungry and ready to shop and support them locally. I'm so excited for everybody that's willing to take up their time to be here as a vendor. All right, and then the whole end of the whole Apple Fest is a celebration of fireworks by Clayton's Pyrotechnics. And we are just thrilled at what a great job Clayton does and the support that he gives our community. And so I encourage everyone to stick around till the very end and grab a chair if you can, bring one with you. That's what Jim and I did last year. We went and grabbed our chairs and made our way down to the square, sat there and just enjoyed this huge show that Clayton gives us to kind of celebrate the end of a great weekend together in our community. So, do you love fireworks?
I love fireworks. They're my favorite. Clayton does a great job all the time. And for the kids, we're actually planning for a foam party in the park at 7 o'clock leading into the fireworks. We'll have glow sticks, foam to dance around in, and just have a good time.
Okay, so how does that work? I've never been a part of a foam party before. So,
I think it's
prepare.
just foam cannons that shoots the foam all over the place, and the kids just run around, dance. Maybe we'll try to have some music playing, and just get foamy.
That is so awesome. So, speaking of the park, there's something else going to happen in the park.
Yes,
That's
Friday
new.
night.
Tell
Friday
us.
night, we are going to be doing a movie in the park. All ages are welcome to come. We're giving away popcorn and a drink to everyone that wants to come, and we're playing The Sandlot. So we're taking it back to the good old days and
Aw.
watching a classic movie together.
That is awesome. So everybody can plan accordingly. There is something here for everyone. Plan to just spend the weekend. I mean, go home and rest and shower on Friday night and come back. I mean, it's the weather's looking beautiful. Mid 80s is, we can tolerate that after the August that we had. This is going to be wonderful. We are so looking forward to hosting you. I think when I think of Apple Fest, I think of like getting ready for Thanksgiving dinner at your home where we have done all the preparing to have very special guests in our community, and that is you all. And we look forward to having you there. We also want to invite you to be involved and participate. We would love for you to be a part of our team. As soon as Applefest is over, we start planning for a Christmas event. So we'll have a parade then and other activities. So we'll keep you informed on that. But we'd love for you to be involved, share new ideas, or just jump in and help us with what we have going on. You're always welcome. And that is one of the things I've really appreciated about this committee and being a part of it. And I am sure we have not covered everything, but get your copy of your booklet. There is the squirrel hunt again in the booklet. There is some great information regarding last year's pageant winners, the contests that are coming up for this next year. And again, all of the amazing sponsors that have made this absolutely possible. And I just want a shout out to my committee. I mean, you guys are all rock stars, and I love to see the way you've been creative to just find the space for the vendors to be able to say yes to as many things as possible, and do it for the community. So We could go on, but we're not going to. I just want to share a couple of more things, Anna, before our show is over today. And one is that this episode of the Good Place Marionville podcast is sponsored by the Bank of Billings. Their community focus really does set them apart, from the new scoreboard at the football field to helping new businesses celebrate their opening. The Bank of Billings is focused on you, the people that make up this community, member FDIC and equal housing lender. In first responder news, it's pretty exciting to announce that there are 2 new volunteers at the fire department. This is huge. I am so grateful for them for stepping up and being willing to help the community in this way. If you have thought or considered ever being a firefighter, maybe it's been a lifelong dream and you just never thought it was possible, you can get trained and volunteer if you're 18 or over of age. And so reach out to Chris Bowling at the City Hall. They'll get you connected. I can put his email in the show notes as well. Also, in fire department news, the Springfield Fire Department donated what they say is SCUBAs, SCBAS, which gave the fire department a 22-year update from their old gear with a lot of advanced features. So even though this was old equipment for Springfield, it gave us a 22-year update, which we are so grateful for, getting us more modern equipment to help fight fires and do the different things that the guys do, guys and girls. And the other good news is that they got a new rescue boat. It was put into service, and multiple departments participated in a water rescue training this past month. They posted a picture on Facebook. If you follow the fire department there, you'll see it. We're just grateful that all of the volunteers continue to get new training and stay up to date on everything so that they can protect you. Whether it's a medical call where they go in and help before the ambulance gets there, or maybe it is some kind of incident on the highway or on a side street, whatever it is. Yesterday, I know they got called. It was a non-injury accident, but they happen. And so having the volunteers ready and available is such a huge thing for our community. In school news, the Special Services Department has some athletes that are going to be participating in the Southwest Conference Field Day on October 8th at Pierce City. This is a big deal for them, and we are excited to hear how it all goes after they have been there. I know there's lots of other news. Of course, football is well underway, and there's been great participation out at the new field at all levels of sports. Kids are back in school, activities are happening. Let's just keep the good news flowing, and together we can just continue to celebrate Marionville. Anna, any final words on Applefest that you want to make sure people hear from you?
I hope everyone will come out and check it out this year. I'm really excited for a lot of the changes and new things that we've done, while also holding true to the traditional parts of Applefest as well.
Yes, yes. And again, thank you to all the sponsors that help make it possible. And most recently to Jimmy Mitchell and all that they have done to help us get some new electrical down on the square to just make things more convenient for the vendors and the activities happening there. The radio station's going to be there again on the square. I do want to highlight this. We've tried to make it so that you can sit on the square and see the stage this year. So we're really looking forward to some more participation down there during some of the entertainment and things like that. Thanks again to Anna. Thank you so much for being a part of the committee, being such a great light and encouragement to me. And we look forward to having everybody at Applefest this year.
Yes, thank you for having me.
You bet. And thanks to the Bank of Billings for sponsoring today's podcast. You can become a sponsor. Just contact me at thegoodplacemarionville@hotmail.com. And if you have good news to report, you can also email me at that email address. If you like this podcast, please become a member by subscribing online at the YouTube channel and click the bell to get the notification every time a new episode releases. Thank you for joining us for the Good Place Marionville podcast. Keep your eyes out for the good, and together we can celebrate Marionville.